This video is brought to you by Once Upon a Galaxy, the collectible card battler that hooked us earlier in the year on mobile, and it's now available on Steam. From the team that helped create Magic the Gathering and Hearthstone, Galaxy is fast-paced, free-to-play and fun, which are three of the four most important Fs in the English language, and I'll let you guess what the final one is. It's fun. You'll put together a crew of iconic characters from across myth, legend and fiction, like Lightning Man, King Deceiver, and Whale Obsessor, in the most satisfying team-up since the combination of Pizza Hut and Taco Bell in one building. Yum? Question mark? If you like your games easy to pick up but incredibly deep to master, then Once Upon a Galaxy is for you. So what are you waiting for? Head over to Steam or your mobile app store of choice to start putting your Once Upon a Galaxy crew together today.
Salutations! Welcome to the Windbreakers podcast. I am Yahtzee Crowshaw, live long and prosper. And I'm joined by these two earthlings, Jay and Marty.
I know how to burp on command. No, I don't.
I'll do it.
No, you
Don't do it. Don't do it. Withhold it from them and they will pay us money to hear.
It's gross. Because I was just demonstrating my ability to belch on command to you. And then Eric did it as well. As we were getting ready, and I was like,
one half of this Discord call can do it on
I know.
Very
and I was actually, and when I heard that, I was like, you know what? Actually, that's actually really gross to listen to. I'm going to stop doing that. Anyway, welcome to the Windbreakers podcast. 5 years of PS5. Does it feel like it's been 5 years?
Yeah, we're almost at five. It's going to be 5 years in a few weeks. No, it doesn't. Not at all.
Yeah, I mean, count off the number of games I've played on the PS5 in the last 5 years. God of War Ragnarok, Astrobot.
You're probably currently playing something on PS5.
Yeah, Ghost of Yotei.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man 2? Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 was a few years ago. Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. That's a poor showing for 5 years.
Less than 5.
I know.
Less than a game a year.
So we thought maybe it was time to assess the health of the PS5 as a console, and wonder if it's maybe time we didn't press a big old pillow onto its face once and for all.
Microsoft is doing with the Xbox.
I feel like it's important to consider that from our perspective, playing games is our job, and a lot of the time we might be playing games on PC or on the Switch or on other things, but a lot of people might only have one console. So like someone who only has a PS5 is going to be using their PS5 all the time. But for me personally, mine became like a really expensive paperweight.
True. I mean, I've got a big old gaming PC and a Switch and all of that. I mean, in fairness, I don't play games on the Switch that much, except in the case of Nintendo exclusives.
Sure. Yeah, I think one of the reasons this came to mind, outside of Ghost of Yotei being kind of the last big PS5 exclusive of the year and hitting that 5-year mark, is that when I think about the previous PlayStations, specifically like the PS1, PS2, and PS3, they have very concrete identities in my head. Like they were consoles that were synonymous with X, Y, and Z. Trends at the time, developers, franchises, and I just feel like we don't really have that with PS5. Everything feels kind of homogenized.
How soon we forget the PS4? You mentioned PS1, PS2, and PS3. What's your feeling on the PS4? Does the PS4 have an identity in your mind?
I think the reason I didn't bring it up with those is that it felt like that's when the start of the identity crisis / homogenization happened. And on one hand, that's good. Like, I do think it is good that people with a PC, after some amount of time, are able to play Spider-Man 2 or are able to play Returnal or whatever, or Horizon.
Not fucking Bloodborne, though.
Not Bloodborne, not Demon Souls remake. Not the Shadow of the Colossus remake. No, there's still a handful that they don't do. But it just feels like, whereas the PS1 for me was like the birth of these franchises, or at least like a heyday of franchises like Final Fantasy and Resi and Crash Bandicoot and Silent Hill. and then PS2 was this like wellspring of creativity and technology, and we got a lot of these franchises really hit their strides and delivered some classic all-time games. And then the PS3 felt very indie-ish to me. It was a heavy indie focus.
Am I right in saying the PS2 is still the most successful console in history worldwide?
I believe the Switch is going to pass that, if we count that. But PS2 beforehand, home consoles, that would be it. And it makes sense. Like I always bring up that fall of 2001 that had Final Fantasy X, Silent Hill 2, Metal Gear Solid 2, GTA 3, Eco, Jak and Daxter, Devil May Cry, Tony Hawk's 3. Wow. Like, that is nuts. That is like an insane lineup. And those games were, at the time, synonymous with the PS2.
Yeah, the PS2 was that whole era was like a stepping over point for the industry. It was when we got out of the 32-bit 3D. And this might sound weird, but I think a very significant step in the progression of games as art was when in-game like footage looked like the box art.
Oh, funny. Yeah.
And I think PS2 was the first time that was sort of feasible.
Yeah. Or at least close enough to where your brain could be like, oh, that's what the character looks like on the box art. Whereas if you look at like the original Mega Man and the box art, you're like, oh, it's nothing.
You look at look at like the old Atari games or games I used to play on the Magnavox Odyssey 2, where there'd be like this painting of Indiana Jones in his prime on the front of the box, and when you actually get to the game, it's like a 2-pixel high man on a black screen walking across lines. And I think there's this instinctive sense of this is very cute, or look at it thinks it's a real thing. And the moment the box art actually did look like the in-game experience, I think was a very significant step for video games as a whole. And I think once you go past that point, the console sort of stagnates as a concept. It's just graphics a little bit better now. And we attempt some controller gimmicks that ultimately don't really work out so well. And we're just going to hold a bunch of games hostage that you can't play unless you get this specific console, and that's literally the only reason to get it.
Yeah. The PS2 also had it was a pretty big technological leap in terms of it introduced DVD players to a lot of people. That was like my first DVD player was the PS2. And similarly, the PS3 was my first Blu-ray player. So not only, were they delivering games that felt original and revolutionary, but also it was a sort of, it became like a set-top device for anything, right?
Media portal.
Yeah, which consoles are now. Like my Xbox Series X is my media portal. Like that's what I use for streaming services and whatnot, and YouTube and everything. Like that's probably what gets 99% of the play on my Xbox is that.
But when you look for something that can act as a media portal, are you looking for something with an identity, or are you just looking for something like, a DVD player? Just buy one from a store and it plays DVD.
Or a TV nowadays.
Or it's less. Everything's ubiquitous now, so it kind of doesn't matter. Whereas in 2001, that literally might have been the only thing in your house that played a DVD.
Yeah.
Right. Because when I think of media portals, I think of my smart TV. We just turn it on and I'll watch YouTube, or the kids will watch Paw Patrol on Paramount Plus.
Yeah. Yeah, or you can have an Apple or a Roku. Like you can have anything. Not a Switch. Anything that's not a Switch, you can have be your...
Shove a DVD.
I'm sure there's some
Switch.
of those apps are on Switch. Yeah, shove a DVD into the Switch. Just hear it screaming. Yeah, like Jay, what is it about you? You said you hit that point where it just became a paperweight. Like, do you think you just lean closer to PC now, or do you think the fact that there are so few like true exclusives have they shied you away? Do you prefer playing on like a thing where your PC can really kick the tires?
It's interesting, right? Because I have my personal reasons and I have like my theory reasons. My personal reasons I tend to be a very social gamer. I like to play multiplayer games with my friends. Less so nowadays now that I live in America and all my friends are in England, but I like to play games with friends, and a lot of my friends didn't have a PS5. And I've told the story of how I got a PS5 on Christmas Eve, like the year it came out. Like I was incredibly lucky, and no one had one. They all wanted one but couldn't get one. So couldn't play any multiplayer games with friends. I remember on the PS4, I bought one specifically to play Grand Theft Auto with one of my best friends because it wasn't out on PC yet. So I think a lot of it was once I'd played my Ratchet and Clank and my Returnal and my Demon Souls, I was like, okay, I'll go to PC that can run the games better because I had a powerful PC at the time and I can play with my friends. But I think like overarchingly, my thoughts might be that ironically, I think Xbox have done a lot of damage to just the console market in general. Like putting all of their games and what would be exclusives on PC is great for gamers, but for the console generations, it's meant that PlayStation have had to kind of make that shift as well. And after an X amount of time, we're going to put them on Steam or whatever. And it just means that I don't have a PS5 anymore. I sold mine when I moved here. Do I need to get another one? No. I want to play Ghost of Yotei, but I'm not going to spend. Now the price has gone up, however much, like $800 to play it. I'll just wait.
Do you have an Xbox?
No. Why would
Are you going to buy one?
I would need one.
In May, are you going to buy one for Grand Theft Auto?
That's the question.
That's not coming to PC at launch, so that feels like the game. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only one where I've been like, not only for work, but I loved Grand Theft Auto and Grand Theft Auto Online. And I'm like, it's the only place I'm going to be able to play it, and my friends are going to be playing it. So it's like, do I drop? Because the game's going to be over $100, I reckon. So it's like, do I drop $1,000 on a game, basically? It's so maybe because that is going to be, well, fingers crossed, a revolutionary game. But that's to be seen.
I mean, I don't know if it is really seriously expect that. But for me,
I think everyone expects it to be revolutionary. I think you poo-pooing Grand Theft Auto's footprint.
In what way is it going to be revolutionary?
It's going to be the biggest game of all time.
Yeah, but
by sheer scope, it will be It will be the most popular, most talked about video game of all time. By that,
I don't mean just like mechanically.
Yes, but what can it do that hasn't been done by previous GTA games?
I mean, look at how people still talk about Red Dead 2 as the high watermark of interactivity in an open world and verisimilitude and feeling like. I feel like everyone does, Yahtzee. I feel like you poo-pooing Rockstar feels like you are out of touch. No, it's the children who are out of touch kind of moment.
Well, speaking of out of touch, I've felt for a long time, to get us back on topic, that the whole concept of the console market, the console war, is sort of an outdated idea.
Yeah.
One that the Sony is sort of alone in trying to continue to push. It used to be the case that there's the console market. You pick the PlayStation or the Xbox or the GameCube, and they've all got basically the same games, but they offer different experiences. Basically the same controllers, basically the same experience, and they're all just vying on exclusives and some minor technical aspects. PS5 is still trying to exist in that sort of space when its other two main competitors just kind of haven't shown up. The Switch 2 does its own thing now. It's basically a handheld to the loft conversion, as I once said. And Xbox is just making gaming PCs. So Sony's here going to, hey, we've got exclusives, we've got controller gimmicks. We are the gaming experience. When it's really still all it's doing is just holding specific games hostage.
So, I mean, the funny thing about that is I do feel like Sony's big thing this generation was going to be to try to pull from the Xbox PC strategy of going hard on live service games, and that's been a colossal failure for them.
Nobody likes live service games, except people who are addicted to them.
People like live service games. The ones they're making are just bad.
The ones that make it are bad. It's they have canceled Farm Development The Last of Us multiplayer game. The Concord was one of the biggest stories of last year coming out, and then I've never seen a game that big release and then get pulled that quickly. Bungie's Marathon is obviously in trouble. There's that Fair Games, which everyone seems to be forgetting exists.
How the hell would you turn The Last of Us into a live service experience? It makes me think of Persona the Phantom X, where they took what was once like a very personal story for a very specific group of characters, and now the Phantom Thieves are just fucking franchising across Japan.
Well, the first Last of Us had pretty good multiplayer mode, like an interesting sort of cat and mouse multiplayer mode.
That's a multiplayer mode, but you were talking about live services.
Sure. I mean, I think their problem was creating a multiplayer Last of Us game, taking that foundation and trying to strap on, hey, what does Fortnite do to make money? What does PUBG do to make money? Like, what does Apex do to make money?
Yeah, they're multiplayer games, but they're also live service, so you can be both.
Yeah, and I think they just didn't... They kind of went all in without really understanding what it is.
Except that it makes boatloads of cash.
For the 1% of games, right? For the 1% of games that are able to do that. And we don't talk about the other 99% of games that come out and flounder, multiplayer games that have dead servers and no one's talking about after a few months.
I've written about this in the past. The industry, like the big money industry, is always going through this cycle of trying to push multiplayer-focused games as the thing everyone really wants, and then like flooding the market and losing a lot of money, and then going, oh, you know what? Single-player games, how about those single-player games, eh? What fun. Let's make some of those. And then the cycle continues.
Yeah. I mean, it is funny because it's those single-player games that tend to get the accolades, right? Those are the games that get the nominations. Even this year we had Ghost of Yotei and Death Stranding 2, which is currently a PlayStation exclusive. Last year we had Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is still currently a PlayStation exclusive. And so I feel like those are almost the like quote unquote prestige games, whereas they're looking for their thing that can just keep printing money,
generate money.
Yeah.
Twas ever thus.
Yeah.
As I say, they're trying to make the infinite gameplay model work. Like they tried it with MMOs, and like now there's like one or two MMOs that make bank off of it, and and they just murdered everything else that tried to compete.
Yeah, it's annoying because it does, like you said, like Microsoft has kind of fumbled the bag so poorly this generation that it just feels like this should be an easy time for Sony to just have a victory lap and deliver all these. They are, but at the same time, it was so strange to play Astrobot last year, which is a great game and which is an absolute love letter to PlayStation's history.
Yes. But did you pick up on the fact that it had very little reference to current PlayStation?
Exactly. That's exactly it. Like PlayStation does it. Like all of those things we love about Astrobot are about those generations of PlayStation that we mentioned before. That like. You don't have that now. Like now, the big games on PS5 are like remakes of old games and like fifths, sixth, and sevenths of franchises.
I mean, even the gameplay model of Astrobot was very PS1, PS2 era.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I 100% think that, but it almost seemed like Sony had like strayed so far away from that doing that felt nice to people. People were like, "Oh, this is we kind of missed this."
I mean, I'm writing about Ghost of Yotei this week, and it is another open world in the model that every open world is now, especially on Sony. Horizon Forbidden West, The Last Ghost of Tsushima. If it's open world and it's Sony, Spider-Man, then you can expect the same experience. It's stealth action with crafting and collectibles. Yeah. And even like the non-open world stuff, like God of War Ragnarok, follows the same template that I've referred to in the past as the Ghost Train Ride. Go from arena to arena, endlessly fight out the same dudes, and the plot advances by a quarter inch every few arena fights. Last of Us 2 was like that as well.
I do want to give PlayStation or Sony their dues because they get a lot of shit. I think a lot of the exclusive games they are pumping out are really high quality and are really good. Like if I see an exclusive coming to Xbox and it's on Xbox or Game Pass, I'm like, this could be wank. Like this might be rubbish. With Sony, like not their multiplayer stuff, but their like single player stuff. Your Spider-Mans, your God of Wars, your Ghost of Tsushima and stuff like that. I'm like, these are bangers, and they're clearly putting a lot of money and investment into creating these single player experiences. And I think they should be, credited for that. It's a shame that they're just fumbling in other areas,
I think God of War Ragnarok, it's got a really good story. It's got really good writing, really good moments. It's got great visuals. It's got a great atmosphere. What it is is it's a 5-course, high-quality meal from a high-end restaurant that has been dumped into a trough. It has been dumped
there's
into
no
a trough.
plating. There's no presentation.
It's been dumped into a trough on a conveyor belt, and all the empty space on the conveyor belt was filled with McDonald's fries.
Yeah, 100%. I've said it a million times on this podcast that I genuinely think God of War and God of War Ragnarok are some of the best storytelling, I think, in gaming, but the gameplay is just kind of wank, and that's 80% of the game.
It's also when we look at a lot of the big first-party Sony games of this generation, we have Ghost of Yotei, which is Ghost of Tsushima, but more, but prettier and streamlined a little bit. Spider-Man 2, which is Spider-Man 1, but more. We have Horizon Forbidden West.
Not exclusive, but it's the same.
It's I mean, a lot of these.
Well, I don't want to talk shit about Hades 2. I'm playing the shit out of that. I love Hades 2.
It's not on PlayStation. Yeah,
I'm fine with just game, but more. I think that sometimes that's why I want from a sequel.
Yeah.
The problem is that
I call this the Wheel of Katamari sequel.
That's
the same
all
game.
we're getting is the problem.
But more. Yeah.
Death Stranding 2 is that. The Last of Us 2 kind of was that. Whereas in these earlier generations, we were either getting the firsts of these things, or we were seeing like an entire 3 or 4 game series in the course of a single generation. Whereas now we're lucky if we get one of those games. So we kind of were able to stomach, Infamous 1, Infamous 2, and Second Son kind of close together. Because they were kind of close together. It's like the distance between like movies and a franchise. I mean, same thing with Uncharted, whereas we don't have that anymore. It's like the better part of a decade. It's 5 to 10 years in between games now.
I mean, traditionally, this would be like the new console experience. When a new console generation starts, traditionally, there'd be a new round of IPs.
Yeah.
That was always the case up to like the PS3 era, I'd say, as you say, Infamous and all of that.
Naughty Dog, yeah.
The only first-party new IP I can think of from Sony this generation was Returnal, I think. Yeah. And that's getting, Saros is their next game coming out next year, which is a new, it's a new series, but very much built on the bones of Returnal. We're getting Wolverine next year, which...
I don't think that does not count as original IP, though, by any means.
And then Naughty Dog has that new Intergalactic The Heretic Prophecy, which is their kind of like sci-fi Cowboy Bebop feeling thing, which I'm interested in.
I think one of the issues is you described feeling the PS3 being very like indie coded, and I think if you think back to the PS2 generation and PS3, there were lots of AA teams doing weird shit and like trying to get a unique selling point and be like, what can we put on the box? What can we do to get people interested? And in this current generation, Sony is not funding anything unless it's a massive AAA project that they know is going to sell, like God of War or like Spider-Man and stuff like that. And I think Astro Bot hopefully is a shining light, and we see this shift of like, hey, AA smaller team doing a weird thing. That's also sold well and got Game of the Year. Okay, hopefully let's put some money, fuck all that live service shit. Yeah. Let's fund some weird indie stuff, and I hope that we see that. But
I mean, we talked about this before. This is like the tentpole system, and we even coined a phrase once: tent poles, not crucifixes.
Yeah.
See, the original model was you have your tentpole. Like that's the big money thing that pays for all the weird indie, like experimental stuff you want to do. It's the one for them, one for me thing that movie directors do. Yeah. But Sony increasingly is just trying to create an atmosphere of all tentpoles. And when everything's a tentpole, you start looking like, the crucifix is at Gethsemane.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was going to transition to a different thought, but if you want to continue that thought, go ahead.
Mine was also pivoting, so go ahead.
Well, I wanted to bring up Ghost of Yotei again, because I won't go into too much detail because I'm reviewing it next week. But one of the things that surprised me about it was how it's still pushing all the PlayStation 5 controller gimmicks. Like when you start a campfire, you have to swipe the trackpad to like spark the flint. Then you have to like slowly press in the adaptive triggers to blow air onto the spark. You have to use the 6-axis to wave the fish on a stick over the fire. And it all feels like Sony very desperately going, hey, you can only get the full intended experience on PlayStation 5. And it all feels so ridiculous because the game would lose absolutely nothing if you took it all out.
Yeah, it's interesting that because the Nintendo DS, how you interacted with that console was so intrinsically tied to the multiple screens and the touchscreen that when games would incorporate elements like touchscreen elements into those games, it didn't feel unnatural and like shoehorned. It felt like a core part of the experience. But on the PlayStation, because the controller is just a controller plus, and don't get me wrong, I think the DualSense is an incredible controller. I think it's like one of the best we've ever seen. And I think the haptics are really cool. But I agree, sometimes the things feel a bit forced.
It just feels so outdated to force that. It feels like for like decades now, they've been fighting against the notion that gamepads were basically perfected with the DualShock. And they keep trying to add these extra gimmicks and none of them go anywhere because there's really nothing you can add to that perfect dual thumbstick, dual shoulder button model. There's really no improving upon that setup. Every console since
we say until someone improves it.
Well, I'll say I was wrong when it happens, but every
I don't know if
it
really hasn't happened in a long time. Yeah, so
every
kind of been
every
standardized
controller
for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Is the two analog sticks, 4 shoulder buttons, 4 face buttons, 4 directional buttons, start and select. Yeah, it's not changed since the DualShock 2. I don't see it ever changing.
I don't know. I'm gonna maybe playing devil's advocate. I like the controller shit. Like, I kind of like it when I get a weird feeling rumble, or I like it when I'm like, oh, I got to blow on something, or there's noises coming out of my controller. I think it's neat. I think it makes it feel like a toy, which it is. And I say that positively.
Well, counterpoint, I don't like that because it takes me out of the experience. It just hammers home the notion that I am holding a controller and sitting in a room and breaks my immersion into the game.
When you started talking there, Marty, I was like, I agree with this man, and then you kept talking, and I was like, I disagree with this man. I partly agree because a controller is there for you to have a hopefully seamless way of interfacing with the game. You want to not think about the controller. I spoke about this in my Astrobot video, and I think the DualSense does an incredible job at that. And I think the added haptics in its triggers are an incredible way of when you get used to it for allowing you to feel as if you're more seamlessly connected to the game. When it wants you to look down from the game and think, what do I have to do with this thing?
Yeah.
It's taking you out. And I think that stuff's where it feels gimmicky. All the stuff they're doing with haptics and feedback, 10 out of 10. But blowing and drawing and stuff, I agree. Like, it's a toy and stuff like that, but I feel it takes me out.
And I also do think in Ghost of Yotei you could just skip all those. At least for all those, I still do them, but there's like a little press X thing that you could skip. But it also doesn't, I see your point of, well, if I want to skip this, why is this even here?
Exactly. Yeah. Right. I mean, what's the point?
Yeah.
So I guess with the question and a concluding question for our argument would be, what do we think Sony should do if we don't think they're doing the right thing now?
This, in my perfect world, this is what I want from every big AAA developer. Is I want it to be a law that if you make a big game that takes 7 years, you also need to have a small team working on something. Every big AAA developer needs to be working on a little guy. I want to see what everyone's little guys are. I want to see what like the 10-person Naughty Dog team makes, the 10-person Santa Monica team makes, the 10-person Sucker Punch team makes. The 10-person Insomniac team makes. Like I do think that kind of variety would allow them to to get things like Tokyo Jungle, to get things like that feel revolutionary, like the original Katamari. Katamari wasn't a first party game, but that was aligned with PlayStation originally.
And what a hit!
What a hit! Listen, we don't shut the fuck up about it. So
yeah,
new one coming out soon.
Yeah.
Almost spearheads an entire genre of quirky indie games.
Yeah, like an entire vibe. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think that if you could wave a wand and have Sony do one thing to give it a bit of its groove back, what would that be?
Well, I'd think the console concept should just pack it in, frankly. But then maybe that's just my bias as a largely PC gamer. who is annoyed that they have to occasionally play games on the PS5 because they're being held hostage. I like playing on PC because a lot of games have a lot of boring slog these days, so I like to have something running in the other window. And when I'm playing games on PS5, I have to literally set up my laptop on my ottoman in front of me, so I can watch like YouTube videos while I'm like plowing through the endless identical copy-pasted combat arenas in God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Take Sega's route. Just be a developer with like a stable of IPs.
At that point, though, then we're just PCs. That we're only playing on PCs and Nintendo. I can't live that life.
So bad?
That sounds awful. That sounds awful.
Well, it's just like everyone has like anyone can manufacture a VCR, and you buy the best VCR and play videos on it. Anyone can manufacture a gaming PC. Just buy the best gaming PC and play the same games on it. Boom.
Get your boom out of here. I don't want that.
For me, it's a tough one. This might be coming from a place of PC privilege. I think Sony should pack it in and copy what Xbox are doing and release their games on their console, but also release them on PC. Same day. They'll make the same amount of money because they sell like gangbusters. Like I was playing Spider-Man PS2 on PC last week, and it had like over I think 60,000 reviews on Steam, and I'm like, how much money did this make? Besides the point, they'll make a lot of money doing it on their console and also on PC. And I think considering now PCs can be infinitely more powerful than consoles, they should stop trying to just push for the highest fidelity all the time and make something affordable for people. Like have consoles be like an entry level PC basically, and make them more affordable for people so more people can have access to them and release their games everywhere. Stop having this weird exclusivity console war thing, and just make more indie games. I agree with your little guy thing. Just make more indies.
Yeah, I don't want to worry you. I believe Xbox has heard your strategy, gone in the past, and instituted it for this generation, and it has not gone well for them.
Yeah, but there's a lot of reasons why a lot of things for Xbox haven't gone well.
I agree, but they did. Like in theory, they're like, okay, we have the Series S and the X, and the S can be like a little more affordable mini PC, and then we're bringing our games to everyone, and we're democratizing things by having Game Pass, and all of that felt really good. And then I think the economics of it kind of bit them in the ass, and they were like,
has it? Because do we have the stats on that? Because Xbox seemed to be doing fine.
Well, Microsoft,
like as in money wise, Microsoft seemed to be doing fine money wise.
Right. Game Pass just doubled in price.
That's because they want money, right? Is that because they need money, or is that because they want money?
I think those are kind of possibly one and the same. But
when you're talking about corporations, it's kind of the same thing in the mind of the corporation.
Yeah,
I mean,
Xbox has had to go through some pretty severe layoffs, and
if can make more money, must make more money. That's how corporations work.
Well, especially when you spent, what was it, 70 billion or 40 billion on Activision and Call of Duty and Blizzard, and so it's like, how do we make this back? What do we do? Yeah.
Well, what's your take, chat? I'm sure you're all chomping at the bit to let us know how you feel about the PlayStation 5 as a concept. Why don't we address that now by reading out your super chats, as we often do? Just remember that if you do a super chat, this is the part of the podcast where I read them all out in the order we got them.
Unless your internet goes out because of construction workers, in which case I will read them.
Yes, there's some construction going on in my home. I would have thought my internet would have gone down now if it was going to go down, so I'm just going to assume it won't.
Great.
But yeah, if I suddenly disappear, you'll know why. You'll have to get by without my winning smile.
Impossible.
Raven gives $5. It says, Raven's weekly word of the week 21, parviscient. Now, this ends with the suffix scient, which is also the suffix on the end of omniscient. So you might be able to maybe deduce some meaning here.
To see.
Scient means knowledge related. It's the same root as the word science. So the second part means to know, and you might use to know that parvus is the Latin term for small. So, taking that in mind, what do you think parviscient means?
To see small details?
Being a short,
Nope.
smart person, like Ken
It means
Jennings.
no. It means not knowing much. It means not knowing much at all.
Dundum.
Ah.
Absolutely dunned us.
So there you go. Thank you for your weekly word of the week, Raven. I love taking the opportunity to sound clever, even though I obviously Googled the word before the podcast even begun.
Dundum.
Punch and Pretty gives $4.99 and says, "Hi, gents. Always makes me happy to hear you bring out your dogs freely, even though I mainly listen to podcasts. Patreon vid idea, dog clip compilation." Well,
I'm
you
grabbing a dog.
jest, but we did that on the fully emblematic Blu-ray. We just put our gallery of pictures of my dog.
Can we license the Baja Men's who let the dogs out during this montage? That could be good.
I don't know, do we? I mean, I've got like a stack of the Blu-rays on my desk over there. I've never played any of them. Who would?
You'd have to put them in a PlayStation.
I know. Inverse Skies, member for 4 months in the Green Gang, says, "Before Astrobot, I would have said no." And then follows that up by giving $7.99 and saying, "Unless you count a non-ejecting disk drive like mine seems to have as an identity."
Oh, that's not good. You need to get that fixed. Or just wait, because we'll probably get these new consoles in only 2 years. It is insane that they're already talking about in 2 years getting new consoles.
No,
that's not 2 falls from
now.
No, it's 7 years.
They've just upped the price of the current ones. What the fuck is happening?
Oh god! And I've only reviewed like 10 games in 5 years, and now they bring out a new console. I can't keep up. Gildon Yetic gives $5. Says, "Sorry, I was distracted from evaluating the solidity of the PS5's identity with the thought of how overwhelming this Steam Next Fest will probably be." Oh, now it starts. People are going to start getting catty and territorial.
There's a lot of demos.
Yeah,
I'm excited for Steam Next Fest. There's a Skate Story demo. I'm very excited for it.
Ooh,
it's coming out on my birthday.
There's a Power Wash Simulator 2 demo out.
That comes out very soon.
Oh my goodness.
God. Good games.
Dr. Theo gives $5. Says, "I would say yes as long as you've never owned a PS4. My dad getting the PS5 for Christmas was how I was able to play Bloodborne for the first time."
Oh.
Yeah, that is one thing.
Bloodborne out on PC.
I do not have the answer. I legitimately have to think they
physics are tied
lost.
to the frame rate of the game. So it's they'd have to rebuild it from the ground up.
What if they just don't allow you to change the frame rate?
You know what needs to happen? A big developer needs to announce a new game that's a lot like Bloodborne. And announce it, and then within like a couple of months, Sony will announce Bloodborne will be released for PC around the time that game comes out.
But the problem is we got Lies of P, which was just Chalamet Bloodborne. They still didn't give us.
And we're getting a new Bloodborne from FromSoft on the Switch too.
But it's multiplayer on Switch too.
I stand by feeling that the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows is what motivated them to release Ghost of Tsushima on PC.
Oh, put the first one in PC. Well, probably also this, right? The second one.
Also money.
Yeah.
They do like money. Yeah, they're big.
It made a fuck ton of money, and they like that too.
I mean, I get the sense maybe Bloodborne would just be really hard to port because of the unique architecture it's on. I don't know, though.
Otherwise, they would have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Two things. One, I've been replaying Resident Evil 5 because I'm going through all the Resi games.
That game sucks.
It's really bad. It's really bad.
I love Resi 5.
But also, there's one boss fight that if you play it on modern hardware, damage was tied to frame rate, and your flamethrower on the boss just does not work. And so I got to this boss yesterday, and I'm just burning it alive with a flamethrower, and it's like, why is nothing happening? And a couple people in chat were like, "Oh, it's tied to frame rate, and so this fight might be fucked." And so I just shot it with a rocket and beat it, which was
why
nice.
would you tie the damage to frame rate? That is unbelievable.
Why would you tie anything to frame rate? Go back in time to Sierra Online in the 80s and ask them the same question, because they did that all the time in their fucking adventure games.
That's so silly.
Yeah, I don't know. Seems very strange. But also, to Dr. Theo's comment, I very much agree that a PS5 or a Switch 2, if you didn't own a PS4 or a Switch 1, feel like no-brainers to me, because I'm like, oh, you get like 7 years, 10 years of like legacy first-party games.
If you've never played a game, PS5 is great.
If you've been in a 40-year coma, you're gonna get your tits blown off by this thing.
Just to go back a bit to like tying things to frame rate, I just want to blow your mind with something. Leisure Suit Larry 3, right? The adventure game by Sierra Online. There's a bit in that game where you have to go to a gym and do a certain number of reps on each exercise machine in order to improve your body and seduce hotties. And it's mandatory to get through the critical path. And the number of reps you have to do on each machine is, for God knows what reason, tied to the frame rate of the computer you run the game on.
Insane.
So the first time I played it on like a Pentium 450, I had to do like 300 reps.
I love that.
That is absurd.
It's nuts. I don't know why you'd ever even think to do that.
Incredibly dumb.
Hey, let's deliberately future unproof the game for legal. Anyway, Hornet Princess Protector of Hollow Nest gives $2 and says, Shah!
Shah!
Shah! Which I believe might be a reference.
She yells Shah a lot. Yeah.
And then Alex Armstrong gives $2 and says, a Wi-Fi router-looking, scalper-loving game console. It has the identity of the PS5, I suppose.
Like a Wi-Fi router. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does look like a Wi-Fi router, yeah.
I think it looks like a licorice all sort. Like a really big one.
Yeah, okay. I dig that.
All sort.
It's a British candy.
Yes. I love licorice all sorts. I want some right now.
I like the
Fuzzy Freestyle. You're the only one. Fuzzy Freestyle gives $5 and says, finally got a Monday off so I can watch this live. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving, everyone. Thankful for all the Second Wind content I get to enjoy.
And
you should be.
Canadian Thanksgiving.
And if you join the Patreon, there's even more Second Wind content for you to enjoy.
Ooh.
For you to be even more thankful for. Give me a second. Peter Parker SL gives $5. It says, if they had to adapt one of these franchises into a movie or show, which would you prefer? The Elder Scrolls or Final Fantasy? Well, firstly, Elder Scrolls would just be Game of Thrones, and Final Fantasy has had a million different settings, so that could be literally anything. I mean, Final Fantasy VI basically was Game of Thrones. Final Fantasy 16 was Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I would personally choose Final Fantasy just because I like Final Fantasy more, but then it would have to be like, what Final Fantasy story? 7 is the most popular, but I don't know if that's the one to adapt. I imagine Elder Scrolls will get an adaptation sooner rather than later, if only given the success of Fallout.
See, Elder Scrolls is all setting. I mean, when you say, like, name the well-known popular character from the Elder Scrolls, who comes to mind?
Fus Roda.
That's not a character. That's a thing you say.
Fuck.
I mean,
no, I agree.
It says its own name. Pikachu is also a character and a thing.
Final Fantasy's got Cloud and Aerith and Barret and all those Final Fantasy X kids and all those Final Fantasy 9 kids. That is very character focused.
Yeah.
Well, Skyrim or Elder Scrolls in general is very environmental storytelling focused and like delving into books and like deducing. There's not a lot of characters, as you said. Final Fantasy is all about characters driving a narrative forward, so that would just make a better adaptation.
Multiple Final Fantasy movies and shows already, so yeah. Alex Armstrong gives $2. Says, bought the OG Euro Truck Simulator during full sale. Now that's classic dad gaming right there.
that is extreme hardcore dad gaming.
Yeah.
Also, not only Euro Truck Simulator, but getting something in a good deal on a sale. Dads love that as well.
Always good.
That's super dad coded.
Also, I'm looking through chat and people are naming famous Elder Scrolls characters, and it sounds like they're having a conniption fit. These do not sound like real people. It's got to be Dagoth Yershagoroth. What? These can't be real people.
No, nobody knows everyone knows who Cloud is. Nobody knows who the fuck those people are.
Vivek? Ulfric Stormcloak?
Yeah.
Oh, I know Ulfric Stormcloak. He was like that dude in Skyrim who was in the wagon with you at the start.
What's the name of the creepy ass jester who like wheels around the corpse for the Dark Brotherhood in Skyrim?
I don't
Cicero,
know.
thanks, Jess. You nerd.
That's named after the Roman poet, I assume.
I don't fucking know.
Anyway, Alex Armstrong not done that one. Spider William 13 gives $5 and says, no new franchises. Third-party support is gone. Don't play this station. And I think Spider William 13 is trying to get a thing going where they do all their super chats in haiku form.
You know what? I appreciate the haiku. I agree with the first part of it. Not enough new franchises. Third-party support gone. That's just not true. Like, all the third-party games are coming to PlayStation. Xbox games are coming to PlayStation.
Right.
So I think they still have
there
third-party
any-
games just fine. It's just that the third-party games aren't exclusive there. So like,
there's no third-party exclusives.
like Silent Hill F, that came out on PC, right?
Yes.
Did you play it on
played it
PC?
on PC.
Okay,
Yes, I did.
great. So yeah, that came out on everything. Oh, they came out on Xbox too. I played it on Xbox. So that's like, Silent Hill, which 1 through 4, I guess eventually the Silent Hill,
Yes.
some of them got ported to Xbox, but those were thought of as primarily PlayStation games. Whereas now it's just
third-party support is historically has often been the kingmaker in the console wars conflicts. How much that's still true today is the question, I suppose.
Yeah. But yeah, even when you go back to like the PS1 era of
PS1
Resi
absolutely.
Resi was
all the third-party developers legged it from the Nintendo 64 as fast as their legs could carry them to go to the PS1 that had CDs that you could actually put some actual fucking stuff on.
incredible.
Anyway, Peter Parker SL gives $10. It says, more on topic. I'm currently watching you guys on my PS5. I only bought it to play newer games. I was happy using my PS4 for Netflix, YouTube, and games for the longest time, as that's all I needed. Well, I also need a gaming PC because I need to type stuff up and print things and browse the internet and make video games. Yeah, I print coloring pages for my kids.
Okay, that's cute.
On my laser printer.
Dad
very
coded.
cute.
I thought you were going to say, "Oh, I only bought a PS5 so I can watch Windbreaker."
Oh,
I was like,
and every now and again you run into a client who insists on you printing out the contract and physically signing it.
Oh, I hate that.
And sending it back.
That. Savages.
Yeah, almost everyone these days lets you DocuSign, but every now and again, it's like how in Japanese business they still use fax machines for some reason.
God, too spooky.
Anyway, Blistered Soul gives $1.99 and says, "Why no couch co-op focus? PS5 is for a living room." Is it though? I mean, is that still the case? The consoles are primarily for a living room experience with the fan.
PS5's for the roof.
I mean, it is for the Switch. I'll grant you.
Yeah, I mean, couch co-op. I just feel like as a whole, like AAA has moved away from couch co-op, right? Like,
when was the last time
it doesn't generate more money?
When was the last time a console came bundled with 2 controllers?
Great question. Yeah.
PS. Oh.
No.
Was any of the PlayStations?
I don't think so.
PS1 maybe.
Was the
not
was
2, 3, 4?
Yeah, like the
I haven't
early
got a second
Ataris
controller.
were.
I guess
SNES?
you could.
Was the SNES?
Super Nintendo had 2 controllers. N64 did not have 2 controllers.
No.
Well, there's hardly
Good
room
luck
for 2
fitting-
N64
Yeah, good luck
controllers in that
fitting
box.
those in the box, mate. It'd be this big.
One, I guess a Switch, you can use each half of a Joy-Con as a
No, that's
controller.
true. I forgot that. That is
If you want to
technically
play
2
like
controllers.
Mario Party or Mario Kart or something in a terrible way to play it,
Or,
I guess is the
or
closest thing.
1-2 Switch. Who remembers
1-2
1-2 Switch?
I remember.
Fucking nobody.
One, two,
Now,
You got the milk. You got the milk during the game. Loved
please
milking.
don't bring up the fact that I had to milk.
Yeah.
Alex Armstrong gives $2 and says, "Don't crazy PlayStation fanboys defend console exclusivity?" I assume. I haven't heard from any of them lately.
I mean, crazy blank fanboys defend blank.
Yes, blank.
Is just across
Yes.
the board.
Yeah.
Everything in life.
Yeah,
If you're still
that's
doing
just
that,
crazy.
I see people on Twitter all the time who are just like constantly still being like, "Oh well, on the Xbox, Assassin's Creed Shadows has X, Y, and Z, and on the PS5 it has this. Xbox is better," and they're called like Xbox Cuck 64, and I'm like, do something else. Like, find something
Yes.
else to rally behind.
Touch
Like, what if you-
grass. Read a book.
Yeah,
Take up
What
bike
if-
riding.
What if you started to go to bat for like a cereal brand and been like, "Fuck Kellogg's, General Mills all day"? Like you
Honey
were
Bunch of
like, "I'm
Oats.
General Mills fan 420."
Well,
I
I
have
don't-
my General
yeah.
Mills tattoo.
I'd respect that
think-
more.
I'm not sure General Mills was ever marketed the way the PlayStation was marketed, which is a lot of what causes these things.
General
Also-
Mills does what Kellogg don't.
Couch co-op cereal.
Also, your mum was only willing to pay for one console for one Christmas, and that naturally engendered sort of, a sour grapes.
Yeah.
If,
So blame
the other
your
console-
parents. Blame your parents for why.
That's
why
the question. Like, what are kids nowadays? Because I don't know if you noticed, we're not children. So, like,
Well,
what are the
there's-
kids going for? Are they going for Switches, or are they like hoping for a PS5?
school shooting massacres these days, I think, is what the
That's
kids
what
go for.
Kids are going for that. Yeah.
Beat your high score, kids.
Yeah. I do think kids, it feels like the cool games are on PC, right? Like the games that blow up, like
all of my siblings want PCs.
Peak.
They ask me to make them PCs.
Yeah, stuff like content warning, like all those games that kind of blow up on Steam.
Your Fortnite, your CS:GO,
Fortnite,
Fortnite's on
Roblox.
everything. Fortnite's on Discord. Like
crazy.
It's everywhere.
I don't even understand that.
But like I agree, and all of the like I used to teach in a school, all the kids there as well would talk about wanting PCs and stuff like that, and they would bring their Switches into school because that's the cool thing, right? Because you also have to make them, so it makes it like for kids, it makes you feel smart that like you've built a PC. I think that's really powerful for kids. I encourage it.
Meanwhile, all the PS5 exclusive like narrative games are dad games. Last of Us, God of War, Ghost of Tsushima. It's just dad games for middle-aged men.
What 12-year-olds getting like absolutely like going crazy for Ghost of Yotai?
No, none.
Weebs,
unless they really like
weebs of America.
Unless they really like women's bottoms. Unless they're very excited about getting to see a woman's bottom.
Hubba.
Which I would have been at that age.
I was about to say
that was before.
Yeah,
that was before the internet was a big thing.
Yeah. Well, that's not on the box art. I can't tell. You know, the kids aren't buying physical games.
They're absolutely not. No, I guess that's another thing is that like digital is taking away the kind of even like the PS1 used to be like, oh look, the jewel cases, like that felt like a unique thing, whereas now like I don't even know what cases look like.
If you had an Xbox, right, when you would go to like Blockbuster and you'd look at the PS like the PS5 side or like the PS4 side, right, you'd see exclusives and be like, oh god, whoa, these look awesome. Oh, I wish I had one. But nowadays, if you're just like stuck in your Xbox hole or whatever, you are never gonna really hear about the PS5 games unless you go looking for it, which these people aren't.
Yeah.
So
that's a good point.
Anyway,
before we move on to the next one really quick, we got a Ko-Fi dono from LOTR fan. Thank you so much, LOTR fan. I stopped all paid YouTube subscriptions because I no longer want to give YouTube my money directly. Have this instead. Thank you so much, LOTR fan. Yeah, remember, if you are like them and you want to support us via non-Google/YouTube means, consider supporting us over on Ko-Fi or Patreon.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Especially the Patreon. Got tons of shit there for you.
Pat Ryan.
Will Cooling gives £2 and says, exclusives define consoles. PS5 good for 4K UHDs. Oh, who the fuck cares? What are you getting from a 4K game that you weren't getting from a 1080p game?
I believe 4K UHDs, they mean like movies. Movies they're referring to, like literally buying movies on 4K UHD.
All right, I say again, what are you getting from a 4K movie experience that you're not getting from the Blu-ray movie experience?
Listen, this guy, you don't have to listen to this guy. He doesn't understand Grand Theft Auto. He's fine. It's fine.
I understand it well enough.
Oh, shit, I didn't think he could hear me. I thought I was talking to the audience.
Huh.
Fuck.
What did you think this was? Greek drama?
Anyway.
Nidorom gives $5 and says, console identity seems to be an outdated idea. Having Sony games on PC is a good thing, right? Do we want to go back to times of locked exclusives? What do you mean, go back to times of locked exclusives, Nidorom? That is the time we live in. Ghost of Yotai, you ain't playing that on PC anytime soon.
But eventually they do, right? Like, it feels like there are fewer games that you can't play on PC than you can play on PC. It seems like that window is shrinking. Bloodborne, I don't have the answer for that. I don't understand.
Where's my Gravity Rush?
That same thing. Give us Gravity Rush. Give us Shadow of the Colossus.
I just want to ogle floating lady's thighs.
Is it too much to ask?
That's in Gravity Rush, not Shadow of the Colossus.
Too much to ask?
Is that too much to ask?
Apparently it is too much to ask. Wings Triumphant gives $5 and says, weird take. I feel like console wars have taken new form, handheld wars. I see a lot of online bickering about Switch versus Steam Deck versus Legion Go / Ally. Well, historically, Wings Triumphant, the handheld wars were a sort of a side conflict to the console wars. I mean, back in the day, it was Game Boy versus Game Gear, and then it was Nintendo DS versus whatever the fuck the
PSP.
Alternative to... Yeah, the PSP.
Yeah.
And now it's the Steam Deck versus the Switch. I have both. Yeah. I would say I play with my Steam Deck more, but that's probably because I keep it in the house and I've been playing Hades 2 on it.
I guess there's also phones. People are just jamming through shit
Yeah,
on their
yeah,
phones
yeah.
too.
People love that handheld phone, although it's a different gaming experience playing on a mobile.
Completely. I don't want to play any phone game that is in landscape mode. Anything I
think
want
we
to play on
should.
my phone, I want it.
I think instead of saying phone gaming versus handhelds, we should say one-handed versus two-handed.
Like, but that makes it sound like one-handed games are for like cranking gooners,
aren't they?
Dun dun dun.
I leave you to think about that.
I play Wordle with one hand.
Yeah,
crank with the other.
Yeah, because I'm so impressed with myself.
I put down the sexy words so that I could get horned up on Wordle.
The word is thigh. Yes.
Oh.
Oh, am I going to kick off with steal, stale, least, or tails today? You don't know.
I had a bad one the other day where I had OUND on the first guess, and I didn't get it right until the very end.
I had the same problem.
Mound, sound.
Yes.
Wound.
Like the answer ended up being wound, and I went through found, and I ended up like failing. I've lost my streak because of that fucking one.
That's a real humbling moment.
Yeah, that's always
the safe thing to do is to pick another word that contains a bunch of the letters of the other letters, so that you can suss out what's that. But I don't like.
Well, I can't do that because I play on advanced mode, where everything you learn you have to carry through to the next guess.
This is a rare moment.
Yeah, Wordle has an advanced mode where
I know that.
you can't everything you
once
learn
it's locked
you have
in, it's
to
locked dead. I like that.
Yeah, you have to put it in the next guess.
Interesting. What were you say, Jay?
It's a rare moment that I feel like I'm winning because I'm dyslexic and can't play. So I didn't get that loss. So I feel like I've won. I'm like, I didn't have that terrible OUND moment.
Yeah, but you just wait until we throw you in the final sentence mines.
Oh no!
The upcoming battle royale game.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
You have to type.
See, I'm good with words. I'm not so good at typing. I tend to mistype a lot.
Okay.
Oh no! So okay. I was a little worried about that. You'd be like
No. I kick ass
killer in
at,
final sentence.
Battle Royale, but the actual act of typing,
yeah,
I didn't really touch type. I still hunt and peck, but very fast.
I think I'm good at typing. It's the spelling I suck at.
Yeah. Anyway,
chat. We were talking earlier this morning about a game called Final Sentence that I threw in, linked in the chat, which is
sounds like good
battle royale.
Sounds like good Yahtzee tries material there.
Oh my god, you can get your type on.
Yeah,
dyslexic nightmare.
I mean, I could read very fast. That'd probably help. Alex Armstrong is $2. Says subversive puzzle game recommend. Strange jigsaws. I'm not really a jigsaw man. My wife.
You don't need to be a jigsaw man.
It's not really a jigsaw game.
Yeah.
Oh, fine.
It's really good. It's not like it becomes something else, but like the puzzles are much more puzzly than just put together.
I've been noticing jigsaw puzzles sort of like get thrown into big AAA games as like a side thing. Like Ghost of Yahtzee has sort of like finding things on the map puzzle mechanic that's kind of like jigsaw puzzles.
Yeah.
And how many times have you like been given us a hey, place this tile in the correct place and make sure it's rotated the right way?
Sure.
Activity.
Maybe it's just because it's like a basic puzzle that everyone kind of understands.
I guess. Get it.
Being a kid.
Pretty much. I remember playing Do you remember the Alone in the Dark remake from like not too long ago? I remember basically every puzzle in that game was a jigsaw. Like a jigsaw where you've only got 9 pieces. Like a tiny jigsaw for babies.
Yeah.
Anyway, Nidarom gives $10 and says, digital libraries are getting content removed more often the past few years, which is part of my motivation to continue getting physical copies of games, an option not available on PC. Well, it could be, if you've got like a CD burner.
Sure.
Make your own physical copies. Buy games on GOG.
All of that space on games being removed. I never hear about games being removed from Steam very often. I hear a lot of digital games being removed from like PS3.
Everything's going to be on Steam forever because Valve have all the money in the world.
That's just true.
What was I just bitching about? Oh, I needed to capture some footage of Silent Hill 1.
Oh,
and I needed to capture it from the school, which is like an hour into the game. And I'm like, oh, I know I played through Silent Hill 1 on my PS3 like a year or two ago, and I had a bunch of save files, so I could just load that up quickly. I set up my PS3, I go to play it, and it just says the game has been removed, and you can't play it. And I'm like, I've owned this game. I've owned this game for like fucking 15 years, and all of a sudden I just can't play. I was able to play it a year ago, and I can't play it now.
Yeah, don't own it anymore. They took it
You also
away from
literally
you.
can't, like,
Even though you paid for it, go take it up with Ross Scott.
Ross, you gotta win that fight. You gotta win that fight.
I think he sort of stepped back from that fight lately, and fair play to him.
I don't blame
him. But the wheels, he put the wheels in motion, and good for him. And
Ross, at the very least, just get me my copy of Silent Hill 1 back, please. Thank you.
I was thinking of writing a semi-ram about Silent Hill 1 for the Halloween-themed episode of semi-ram.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Anyway.
That's a good game.
Yeah, it's not my favourite Silent Hill. It set the ball in motion, and it was shaky in a lot of ways. But, yeah. Well, anyway, I'll think about it. Arrest warrant issued for frogs in 13 states gives $2 and says 10.5. Need to remember that number. Is that the number of games I've reviewed on PS5? Arrest warrant issued for frogs.
I counted 4 at the beginning.
Yeah, but then I noticed people posting other things in the chat that I'd forgotten about, and I think the number is probably closer to 10.
Yeah,
and
we
a
have
half.
Demon Souls, Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2,
Miles Morales I played on PS4
you played
because that was before I got a PS5.
Okay,
but
Eternal,
the other
Ratchet
ones,
and Clank,
Ratchet
Horizon
and
Forbidden
Clank,
West, God
Death
of War
Stranding
2,
2.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth.
Yeah, so it's probably around 10.
Yeah.
10, 11. Still not enough for 5 years of work.
Sure.
Anyway, Mr. Pepe gives $5 and says something all consoles, Sony and Microsoft especially, but also more recently than Nintendo to an extent, need to relearn is the importance of local multiplayer. Is it that important though, like we were talking about earlier? I don't think it's the money maker these days.
It's really niche. It doesn't make any extra money because there's no extra copy sold. So they
I mean, I think local Mr. Pepe, without being presumptuous, I imagine you're either maybe you have a family that you want to play with, or maybe you're like younger and like live with a bunch of roommates or like in a dorm or something and want to play there.
Or you just played Smash all the way through college.
Yeah, I just feel like when you hit a certain, like, I love couch co-op, but it's just not conducive to
it's
the
literally
way
just
I live
that
anymore.
Like Jose Fares, like just the one guy who's pushing couch co-op forever.
Who's Jose Fares?
Oh, the split fiction guy, Joseph Fares.
Oh, Joseph Fares. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. Makes good games, can't write for shit. Tsunami Dusha? Oh, it's Tsunami Dusha, everyone. And he's given us $20 to say bugger all.
I can't believe it.
Legend.
And as always, he's gotten a ton of likes for it. You can like individual super chats on YouTube now. What an age we live in.
Oh, God.
Witticism gives $5 and says, nothing to add that wasn't already said. Have some money. Thanks for keeping me entertained on the holiday while I work through Act 3 of Silk Song. Second screener. Good man.
Juggle those fleas. Juggle those fleas.
Did you finish Act 3, Marty?
I did, yeah. I liked it. I didn't think it was as hard as Act 2, to be honest.
I certainly did not. Anyway.
Damn, dude.
Furgan, member for 22 months in the tip jar.
Thanks.
And then Alex Armstrong gives $2. Says, saving money for a Steam Deck, which model you recommend? I just got the cheapest one, Alex Armstrong, because I just play indie hits like Hades on it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the OLED screen. I don't know how crazy you are about OLED screens, but
it's
I don't
not that much more expensive, and it's got a better storage size to just save up the little extra and get the OLED.
I think the more expensive ones have like a faster internet connection as well, but just because it does take a while to download on mine. But never mind.
Oh, well.
They also haven't announced. I'm assuming they're going to do like a Steam Deck 2 or like a big upgrade, but they haven't announced anything with that. So I imagine that won't be for quite a while.
You played anything on Steam Deck that makes use of all the extra buttons they put on the underside of it?
Nope.
No.
Oh no! I will occasionally map those on emulators to fast forward or save state.
Ah, there you go.
Also, it's a PC game, so they'll have keybind support, so you'll be able to just set those things yourself.
Yeah, but like, do you ever? Do you have a Steam Deck, Jay? Like, do you ever use those back toggles?
No, I have yet to find a game where I could find a use for them, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, because most of the games I play are built for a controller in mind.
Did you guys
as a controller
ever use the Steam controller that they used to do? Have you ever used one of those?
For a little bit. It was weird.
I got given a free one with my PC copy of Dark Souls 3. When I went to buy Dark Souls 3, Steam went, hey, do you want one of these controllers for free? And I was like, okay. And they sent me one. I wasn't like a YouTuber. Like this was just a general consumer thing, and I was like, I'm going to use this for the entire playthrough of this game, and it has like trackpad analog sticks.
Yeah. It's very weird.
It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. But yeah, it was weird that I just got given one for free. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Who remembers their first freebie? Their professional freebie. I remember mine. I was writing the occasional feature article for a print magazine, if you can believe that. And at one point, my editor came back and said, "Hey, Blizzard are offering 3 free months of WoW to game journalists. Do you want one?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. Set me up. I haven't played that."
Yeah.
So I played World of Warcraft for 3 months and then stopped.
Amazing.
If they just kept giving you a free subscription, would you have played forever?
Possibly to this day, yes.
Amazing.
What was your stream?
Anyway,
my first one was really special. It wasn't a freebie. It was one that we got early. It was Elden Ring, and like that was extremely special because that was like an unbelievably hype game. And then when we like got to play it, it felt like we were in something special. It was nice.
Yeah, fancies.
Fuegen comes back with £5 and says, "I'm in Long Beach next month for work. Any recommendations for where I should visit for vacation after? LA, San Diego, San Fran, maybe a national park."
Well, Long Beach is in Southern California, so unless in Northern California is quite a ways away. So unless you
that's like a plane ride.
Really want to leg it, I would stick to LA and San Diego.
But if you got the time to kill, you could drive up Highway 1 from LA to San Francisco.
It's very
get the
pretty.
beach view all the way. It's a nice,
nice
drive if you like long drives.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't know. I don't like LA. I've been there a few times, and I just don't like it.
What about it that you like?
It's the way it's a really bad pedestrian city. Everyone drives like maniacs. It's too hot. The sky's yellow. And it reminds me of a really poorly laid out 7-Eleven, but blown up to the city-sized form.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mr. Sadface gives $2 and says, "Watch it. Turns out they lost Bloodborne source code." Well, apparently they lost the Silent Hill 2 source code, and they still were able to put out the HD edition, which sucked, but never mind.
Yeah. So just put out a shitty version. Would we rather have a shitty version of it on PC or no version? A shitty version they could fix.
What a philosophical question.
People are already doing it. Someone, I saw someone on Twitter is just straight up like porting Bloodborne to PC.
But that's for like the 0.01%. Like you got to be nuts to be playing that, right?
I mean, that's basically emulation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not nuts as in like it's dangerous, but nuts as in like, that's not as convenient as that. It's on Steam now. You can buy it.
Yeah. Very different.
Yeah.
Ryan Betts gives $2 and says, "But Marty, do you think PS5 has a sense of place?"
Oh, my favorite thing. Ghost of Yotei is a pretty cool sense of place. I like going to that ocean.
If you say so. Yeah, it's like the North Island of Japan. Yeah, that's literally
exactly.
it. That is the literal place that it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Brett R gives $5 and says, "Elder Scrolls got lore like you wouldn't believe up in all of those books. Who's got time to sit down and read 500 books when they want to go out and kill dragons, Rhett R?" That's the problem.
Like you said, Rhett R's name, like that's not their real name. If that is your real name.
If that is your real name. It's just awkward to say. Rhett R. Redder.
Send in your birth certificate.
Oh no, we're becoming Rhett R birthers? Truthers?
Is Rhett short for Everett?
We are.
Do you stick an H in there if it's short for Everett? That's wild.
I actually don't know.
It's like how you insert an H into John when you're shortening Jonathan.
Yeah, name shortenings most of the time make no sense.
Yeah, true nonsense.
Yeah. I mean, my real name is Benjamin, and that shortens to Ben. That makes sense.
Or Jammin.
Yeah, that makes
sense. How come you don't change it to Jammin?
My name's...
Well, quite. Jammin, that's a... I was going to say that's a good name, but then I thought about it. But no, that is a terrible name to have.
Jammin's a great name for like a 6-year-old. I'm jamming.
I've got a pumpkin spice latte here for jamming. Is jam in?
And I hope you like jam in too. Anyway.
Oh.
Mirith D gives $2 and says, "If you go to bat for something, make it a barbecue style." What the
That's the only
fuck
thing
are
really
you on about?
Fucking what?
I think that's in about people being console warriors and going to bat for. We were goofing about the cereal brands.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mirth D is a barbecue connoisseur.
Oh, okay. What's the best barbecue style?
I believe Mirth D would say North Carolina.
I don't really understand the difference
words.
between the different barbecue styles.
I do like barbecue. I want some barbecue recommendations.
What's the kind of barbecue that produces blackened chicken? I like blackened chicken.
Fire.
I think the barbecue. I think it's different cooking methods and different seasoning.
Is this like Tex-Mex
And
versus
time?
Cal-Mex?
A little bit, except that there's like even more. There's like Kansas City barbecue, St. Louis barbecue, Alabama barbecue, Carolina barbecue.
Fuck off.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's
Change the fucking
Texas
record.
barbecue. Yeah,
Come up with something other than barbecue, other than like heating up a slab of meat.
yeah. It's also
Come up
funny.
with, why don't you come up with shit like paella or unique kinds of pies?
Because it's all a type of the pasta. If you have a different type of pasta, it's still.
I mean,
X
how
pasta,
much
right?
how much variation can you apply to, putting some sauce on meat and then putting it on a hot thing?
Mirth D is about to drop a nuke.
Mirth D's already. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Mirth D's truth bombing you.
Oh, anyway, Alex Armstrong gives $5. Says, "Love the latest design delve, but Jamate isn't having no difficulty options anti-accessibility, thus limiting potential customers. AAA loves big money after all."
But if you have accessibility options, then you can adjust it yourself, which means you get more, right? So just add more accessible. Fucking AAA, add more accessibility into your games, you scum.
Okay.
Oh my God.
You scum.
Well,
I will die. I will die on this hill.
Well, while they get on with that, TJ Carr gives $5 and says, "Fun fact, Steam family sharing allows you to share your library with up to 5 members. The kids will be fine." What are you, work in Valve's marketing department or something, TJ Carr?
Also, if you just share your password with everyone and everyone plays their games offline, you can share it with a lot more than 5 people.
I was playing and doing my New York Times crossword, and a pop-up's come up saying, "Hey, why don't you share your account with your family?" And I was like, "Ooh, can I do that? My wife kind of likes crosswords." And I clicked on the thumbnail and it said, "If you pay for a family account." And I was like, fuck off, New York Times.
Yeah.
Anyway, BS Marsh gives $2 and says, "Yes, where is Bloodborne and Demon Souls for PC?"
Agreed. The Demon Souls one's even weirder because that came out in 2020, and I imagine that
they built it from the ground up.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
I mean, that's another example of Blue Point made that game, and then apparently they got thrown into the live service mines with a game that eventually got canceled. So by this point, we would have gotten either their next remake or maybe an original game from them because they've earned it by this point. But
that sucks.
Oh, console exclusivity, water from a poisoned well. That's what it is.
Kafka.
Patent Pike gives $2. It says, "Any of you seen that awful live-action Fury trailer?" Can't say I have, Patent Pike. I remember Fury. I remember liking it. It's that boss by boss beat 'em up game by the developers of another thing I liked that I can't remember right now.
What? So
it was that game that came out later that was about the young couple on an alien planet. That was by the same developers.
Haven.
Haven, thank you.
They're also now doing that climbing game, Cairn, that's coming out. That's supposed to be like a very in-depth Cairn, Cairn.
Yeah, I know the word.
Yeah,
Cairn. It's a pile of rocks. It's a word for a pile of rocks.
This looks like it's like what was that last Jasant, but this is like much more. Feels like you need like actual gameplay to the climbing.
Yeah, it feels like every new climbing game says that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Saint Lugia gives $5 Canadian. Says, "Why do people care about exclusives make up 1,000th of games that come out?" They care because the marketing department makes them care. Saint Lugia is the short answer.
I mean, they care because a lot of the first parties at a certain point had a really interesting stable of developers that were given that, and those developers tended to understand the everything that was going on under the hood of the console, so they were able to do things with hardware that third-party developers weren't. Like if you see like what Naughty Dog did
Killzone.
with The Last of Us, or what Killzone did with it. Yeah, like it's some really shocking stuff. So I think that's part of it. And yeah, I agree that it's only 1,000th of the games that come out, but it is a much less percentage of the actual like the exciting games that come out, because I don't want to compare like Ghost of Yotei to whatever Steam slop came out this morning. No offense to any Steam game that came out this morning that isn't slop. I'm sure there's a good game.
Maybe it was nice slop. Maybe it was
nice slop.
Maybe it was butterscotch pudding. That's nice slop.
Okay, I don't want to compare the Sony first party games to the just plethora of hentai games that are on the Nintendo eShop right every day.
Oh.
Yeah. And yes, I do buy every one, but it's so that a kid doesn't come along and accidentally buy it. So I'm protecting people.
I think they'd start to get a bit samey.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're one-handed games, so what do you expect?
Yeah. Frogs exonerated by Lemonade wants some, gives $2 and says Operation Success, mysteriously.
Okay.
Well, congrats.
Congrats. I hope you got
Lemonade. And then Mirith gives $2 and says, do you want a lecture? Blackened isn't barbecue. I don't care, Mirith. I'm a baker. I do baking. Although I do know how to cook steaks. It's always my job to cook the steaks in my house.
There you go. Do you think you can only be a baker or like a cooker? Cooker? A cook?
A cook.
Chef?
Why don't we call it why do we call it a baker and not a bake?
I'm a cook. I'm a cook in the sense that I can cook. I'm very far from being a chef.
Sure.
Not all cooks are chefs, but all chefs cook.
Yeah.
I'm cooking for myself this week. The fam are going up to the mountains for the week. Ooh. The in-laws are taking them for a little trip. Obviously, I have to work, so I'm staying home. But that's like 4-day bachelor weekend where I can cook my own stuff for me.
Then you're going to be in Milwaukee for so long.
I know. I'm going to be
for so long.
I'm going to be away from the fams for quite a while.
Oh, that's rough.
You can like adopt Jay if you want.
No.
For the trip, not forever.
People already fucking say I'm Yahtzee's son anyway.
This is my work trip son.
No, Jay disgusts me. Anyway, P-Boyle000, member of 22 months in the Green Gang, says Memphis is the best dry rub over sauce every day. Again,
I do like a dry rub. I like a dry rub. It's less messy.
I don't know enough about the names.
I like a sauce because they're messy. So that's a conundrum.
So if we were talking about baby back ribs, would you favor the dry rub or the sauce?
Ooh, ribs specifically, I like a sauce. I like a dry rub on wings, though. Wings with a dry rub? Ooh.
I prefer dry.
Yeah.
It's just too much for me. I just like, we got Buffalo Wild Wings the other day and we were ordering it online and then they were like, what sauce do you want with your wings? And the list is like 800 pages long. And I just get choice paralysis.
Because as we've established, barbecue is like literally apparently the only homegrown American cuisine that every American region cares about. So everyone's got their own sauce.
Yeah.
DMS too many sauces.
See, in England, every region has its own like cake. You go to Eccles for the Eccles cakes, and then you get like a Bakewell tart, and then go somewhere else for like a Belgian bun.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Belgium.
Yes.
Jay and I will solve that mystery.
They don't actually come from Belgium.
Operation Success.
It's like the French fries thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I could go for an Eccles cake right about now.
I love Eccles cakes. They're
Christopher
great.
Eccles cake?
So crumbly.
No. It's a kind of cake. It's like pastry with a sort of dried fruit filling.
Oh.
I love them.
They're so good.
I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna look up a recipe.
Yeah, that's your next week. I would never find them in stores, and then when I would, I'd buy as many as I could because I could never find them where I lived.
Yeah, I'd always like get them from like the Greg's style bakery.
Yeah,
the Greg's wasn't really a thing until after I left England, so I'd get it from a place like the Baker's Oven or something like that.
Jess, I told Jess about Greg's yesterday. She didn't know it was a store, and she's never had a sausage roll. They're not things here.
No, they aren't. Australia, huge on sausage rolls. You want sausage rolls? Australia's got them everywhere. Sausage roll and ketchup, you can get it everywhere.
Oh,
America, no sausage. We really should introduce sausage rolls to the Americans. I feel like they'd get on.
Should we make some in Milwaukee?
Well, they're pretty easy. You just need sausage and puff pastry.
The problem is America would pit them all against each other, so it'd be like the Memphis sausage roll,
The Memphis
Albuquerque sausage roll.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Anyway, that was the last of the super chats. So, thank you very much for listening to the Windbreakers podcast, which at some point was about the PS5 and its and how it's doing at the moment. And then we sort of went on a couple of tangents there, but never mind. I was Yahtzee Crochet. I got content coming out this week on Second Wind, as always. I've got a little old fully Ramblematic coming out on Wednesday, which will be on the subject of Hades 2, which, without wishing to spoil, I could see ending up in my top 5 this year. It's one of my faves. Especially since I went back and started replaying Hades 1 as well on my Steam Deck since I finished Hades 2. And it's remarkable. Not so well. I mean, surprising how much Hades 2 added that you think of as something that was in Hades, but actually wasn't.
Interesting.
Okay.
I finally beat Typhon weekend twice, so I was very excited.
Oh, well, you're
so I
behind.
just got to beat him a couple more times.
I was playing post-ending fuckabouts for much longer than I usually do in Hades 2. So I've defeated Typhon like 7 times. Where you been?
Nice. How far did you get in Silksong, by the way?
Shut up.
Dundum. Absolute
I had a moral
dundum.
The point where I stopped playing Silksong was a moral victory, I think.
Yeah, it's called getting filtered.
Yeah, quite. It's
this is the only time I ever get to do this. I play everything else on easy mode. This is my one a year.
Fair enough. So that's that. Semi-RAM, of course, this week. There's a Semi-RAM dropping this week, which is on the knotty subject of what constitutes optional content in a game. And also my regular stream on Wednesday. Is that typing game actually out?
No.
It says Q4. So
yeah, it might have a Next Fest demo. So it is Next Fest this week. So maybe.
Well, if the demo's out, I might very well play it on Yahtzee Tries this week because I'm intrigued. I'm slightly intrigued.
Yeah, it seems like a cool concept.
Demo's out. Right. There's a 40-player lobby. So
Nice. Well, I know what I'm doing for Yahtzee Tries this week then.
Beautiful.
That's me. Yes. If you like Yahtzee Tries, the compilation video went out on Sunday. That includes the best bits of the streams and my little reviews of all the games.
Did you play any more House of Necrosis after the stream?
I played a little bit. Not that much. Like I said, I'm replaying Hades on my Steam Deck. But once I've done with that, I'm definitely going to Necrosis it up in my Steam Deck time.
Nice.
What other content have we got coming out this week, gentlemen?
Yeah, Jay, what do you got?
I had a design delve come out today. Speaking about should difficulty options exist. I'll let you answer that in the comments because apparently a lot of you have already. Other than that, we got DevHeads on Friday. And keep an eye out on Patreon because hopefully later on this week you'll be seeing a Patreon exclusive video from moi. So yeah.
That's you.
Me. Not moi. I hate that guy.
Moi.
He's an arsehole.
We should have normal streams all this week, but then a heads up. This weekend, a bulk of the crew will be heading to Milwaukee, and so for the next 2 weeks, we will be they'll be shooting Adventurous Nigh. I can almost guarantee you, so we will not have a Windbreaker next week. I can pretty much promise you that. Probably not. However, if all goes well and things aren't burning, we will be back for an in-person Windbreaker on Monday the 27th. If we can figure out how to do that.
If we could,
regardless, even if we can't. We'll be back. Everyone will be back Monday the 3rd. Actually, I won't because I'll be back. I'll be in Tokyo the 2 after that. It's possible I won't be on Windbreaker ever again.
Oh my god! Yes, you might get murdered.
It's very possible I could get murdered. I'm going to go up to a bunch of
signing off every episode like that because we could just die.
I'm going to go up to a bunch of strangers in Tokyo and ask them what their favorite kinds of barbecue are. What do you think about Memphis versus North Carolina?
Just get stabbed.
Yeah.
Anyway, last couple of super chats have just come in. St. Lucia gives $2 Canadian. Says, does gyro count as a controller evolution? Maybe. Well, I wouldn't say it was essential.
No, and it doesn't feel like a ton of games use it extremely well. Some games do. But
and then Magnavox gives $54.9 dollars and says, long-time follower, love the work you guys have been doing. Yachts, my retired mother has improved her English enough to laugh at your knob jokes. We're Brazilian. Do what you want with this information. I will make sure to step up the knob jokes alongside the your mum jokes in my future videos, Magdavox.
Yeah.
I think that's really
big
cute.
ups to your mum.
Yeah. Shout out to learning things.
Well, always. Plenty of big ups to Magdavox's mum.
Oh my God, she's learning English.
Well,
she can understand this.
She is bawling at that joke. Mate, she is rolling around.
Now she's got the incentive to learn more English.
So she could dun you?
Yes.
Absolutely dun him.
Hey, here's a challenge for you, Magdavox's mum. Look up what a rusty trombone is.
Don't look that up. Don't look it up.
Look up Blue Waffle.
Magdavox's mum, you're great.
Don't look up Blue Waffle. That's not wholesome at all.
What's Blue Waffle? I've never heard of Blue Waffle.
Don't look it up. Don't look it up.
You can't stop me.
That's it from us. See you next time, everyone, which might be in 2 weeks or in 3.
Oh my God.
Bye then.
Tubes.
Bye, everyone.